Alright, ladies and gentlemen, SeKo Starcraft back after a bit of a hiatus. Played a few games here recently just to kind of keep modern with things. Thanks to everybody kind of stuck around for a while. No, it's been quite a while since I've actually been playing any games. Going out as an early scouting Terran up against a Protoss player, Bard, in the top right. I don't really like that name, Bard. Anytime you ever play an RPG, the Bard characters are never used. They just like to sing songs and kind of do happy crap. It's the bards I never really give them that much respect to. I'm sure somebody out there loves the RPG bards, but not me. Scouts will go opposite directions, so we'll not see each other. Fast gas going down, just to be able to do some fun stuff with it. It's actually got a pretty fast gateway down on that side. It's alright. The cool thing about playing Protoss, if people haven't played Protoss in Legacy of the Void, is that you can be chrono boosting probes out really friggin' fast. You can get a pretty swift economy. Probe will be a bit of a bugger, which is unfortunate, but such is life. We'll keep making that fact. Sorry, the barracks got slightly delayed. Not gonna bother me too much. Now we'll chase down that probe. Start my engineering bay block down here. Back on this side. He's actually doing a pretty good job of keeping that probe from being killed. Good little star. Probably could have pulled some guys off, maybe intercepted it, but I don't really care that much. If they slip past, you waste so much time. You look like a total fool if you pull workers to try and kill a worker and you don't get it. You look terrible. Just a pro tip from Shawnee. Engineering bay is going to finish up. I'm going to come in here and scout a little bit myself. Would have an idle probe there. A little funky. Should be able to come in and see. There is no second gas. I actually pull back for 1 second just to double check. There's no second gas. And he will come down here and see that, oh my god, there's an engineering bay block. That's right, there sure is. Probe still running around. It's actually doing a good job staying alive. Reaper on the way. Reaper openings against Protoss. Why not? If they're not ready for it, it actually can do quite a bit of damage. I'm going to sneak a little SCV down here. See if I can't be fun. Factory going down. And he knows that's going down before I'm getting down my command center. So that should make him pretty alert that he doesn't want to be dying to Widow Mines, potentially. Out comes that mothership core, first stalker on the way, throwing down turrets in my base because I've got my engineering bay down, so I might as well. Still fighting that probe, actually took a few hits on it there. And my Reaper is heading across the map. The cool thing about scouting this is I will see that he's taking the low ground nexus. This is a very important scout for me because I know my engineering bay means he's not coming back here. But in this case, we'll snag myself a free probe, see the chrono boost on the cybernetics core, disrupt a little bit of mining, not too big a deal. We'll escape out. Good job from the Reaper, tells me what I really need to, and I'm going to sneak a starport over here and see how much damage this can get done. Marines on the way, bunker going down. When I see a really fast mothership core and stalker, sometimes he can be just a bugger. Like, he can just be a pain in the ass, particularly when you start getting out some adepts. The bane of my existence, and probably a lot of Terran players' existence. Actually, a Protoss players' existences as well. Everybody hates adepts. So his base is really far ahead of mine, though I do have a little bit of a good investment into tech. Starport about to finish up, but his robo will be done in good time. So economy-wise, he looks like he's doing way better than I am. Not too far ahead in workers, despite the chrono boost. But down goes my missile turret and my command center. Very far behind my opponents at this point. Pretty safe though, bunker done, Widow Mine. Yeah, I'm pretty safe. Starport finishing up. Will kill us off. God, I hate Adept so much. 23 versus Light. How ridiculous is that? Just gonna let it burn, actually. How disruptive. Warp Gate is finishing up. Observer's on the way. He's gonna need that. And it's just... I tried to go Cloak Banshee. I just wanted to be funky and see if it worked out. Sometimes when players really... Doesn't that look like a corpse? I always get confused, like you killed something when you see that splatter there. Sometimes you get lucky if they're going for adepts and rushing to adepts, they don't get detection out. In this case, he is not rushing into full adepts, putting some gas into observers, so we should be alright. Reaper hanging out over here. He should be pulling quite far ahead in workers. Yeah, you can see that lead starting to pull away as my command center is not even quite finished up yet. And he probably could even start a third. And I can't really do anything to punish it right now. Though, I'm sitting pretty good myself. Widow Mine's protecting my ramp. One SCV being an idiot. Stargate going down. Reaper's going to pop up. See if I can pull his army a little bit out of position. Might have been able to actually snag that one probe, but I'm going to keep him out, keep him alive. Same time, first Banshee's going to come in. Cloak is about to finish up. I'm like, hey, my timings are fantastic. Let's see what damage I can get done. Not many Protoss players expect Banshees. It's such a huge investment. And the Observer is there, so that Banshee is going to get shut down. Second Banshee's about to pop, and I was considering canceling it. I'm like, you know what? If I get these Banshees out, I'm going to force a bunch of his units to at least stay at home for right now. Whereas back at home, I'm just finished expanding. I'm so far behind. Look at the supplies. I am not very good at this game. Let me look at my spend I've got to do here. Tanks on the way. Finally getting my upgrades. Spending too much time microing Banshees. They aren't getting any work done. So I'm going to start getting down my macro facilities. Void Ray coming out. Kind of an interesting choice. It will help against Banshees, but I think one Phoenix probably would have been a smarter choice. Oh well. Sending back my starport. Did what I could. Scan, seeing what's going on. See the Observer. More scanning to see where his army is so I can come back in with my Banshees. I'm actually going to keep them both alive. Put a little damage in on one Stalker. But I'll just back out. He's going to go for another base. See that his army's at home. But if I push out too soon and try and take the low ground, I'm so worried I'm just going to get clobbered. Because I'm in such a terrible position right now. And I just, sometimes you run into that when you go quirky and you get out things like Banshees against a Protoss player. If they shut it down, you're working at it. You are way far behind. Units wise, he's up 11 workers. At least I'm still making workers. I usually have a really bad habit of not doing that. Getting all my gases taken. Throwing down some missile turrets. Mostly about denying drops. But sometimes when you see Protoss players, they will go for Void Ray fleets and things like that. So I feel like that's not the stupidest of stupid moves. I feel like it's a peace of mind. And when I don't have the best micro and macro, every way I can to get ahead is worth it. Pretty good defense, units-wise. We're going to look at that. You know, the armies aren't that great. He's got some Stalkers and Adepts. I was sure, once I saw him making Adepts, that he was going to use the little hallucinate, run-by stupid ability. God, that bothers me so much. Psionic Transfer. I didn't even know it was called for the longest time. Run past my mech and just get into the back of my mineral line. Which is why I want to get out Hellions, so at least I can run them down. Yeah. At least they're light. Hellions will do a little bit of extra against them. Void Ray's moving around. Looks like it will just see my Banshee, maybe? Ooh, maybe not. Well, they're right next to each other. Eventually they will meet. Gonna move out. Turn to Hellbats at the front. Should be able to be protected there. I don't want to hit that Observer. Must have flew too close to a missile turret. What a tentative arrangement. I think I saw a probe was going to move out there. Maybe, maybe not. Stealth by Banshees on both sides, letting me know the scouting is going. Moving out with my Marines, I'm just going to go and check all the different expansions. Make sure I'm just far behind, not way, way far behind. I keep thinking, man, if he just attacked me, he just came at me, how bad would that be? He's going into Colossus. I don't think he realizes that I'm going mech. He may have come up here and scouted, perhaps. I don't know if he saw that, but seeing the tanks and the Hellbats, he should be pretty certain it's mech. So the Colossus is a little confusing to me against mech. Just for the price. Like, they're so resource and supply expensive. 6 versus 4 for an Immortal, extra shields. The Immortals, I feel, are a much stronger choice. Marines still hanging out down here, making sure that expansion isn't down. Looks like they'll be intercepted by this Void Ray. And this game might seem really boring right now, but it's actually a really good thing for me. Because I'm, like I said, not in a great spot. Even if we look at economy, 49 to 63, he should be further ahead than that. He's up on 3 Nexuses, starting his 4th. Should be a bit further ahead in my humble opinion. But oh well. Missile turrets going down. Do I get this guy? Let's see if this goes up. Yeah, eat it. Scan to see if the army was in position. It's not, so I'm going to try a little run by. I don't have blue flame because I'm an idiot. That'd have been a nice thing to hit, but his army's down here. So I'm going to run up this way. See if I can't get some damage. High saturation. Good little shot there. Most definitely bad shot there with the Nexus. "14 workers killed so far. A lot of defense in place because of those Banshees. There's still one alive, I believe. Is there? Nope, we got shut down as well. Marines still scouting the space on this side. Once again, this is really just buying me time. Command center is going down. Base all finished up. This one's starting to get saturated. Still building workers. Actually getting a little bit of upgrades. Isn't that nice? Going up to 1-1. He's making 2 Colossus at a time, so this army is pretty diabolical. But he hasn't been getting his upgrades still. He should be far ahead of me in his upgrades, considering his economy, what he can spend. A little bit oversaturated, but this base is finished up. He should be doing great. Look at this wall, too. I was very impressed with this wall off here. So that was pretty slick. More command centers, more missile turrets. I'm starting to get into Liberators. If I'm going to deal with this really sick Protoss death ball, Liberators I feel could be the key. I haven't experimented with a lot, so we're going to see how it turns out. Marines spreading out a little bit to see what's going on. Widow Mines at the front, and I'm going to start breaking them off one by one. And just sending them around the map. The thing that's very important for me is vision. I don't really have great vision in this army, and I know it's a Protoss player. It's always going to be in one big clump. So if I can get into a good position... Oh, that's such a terrible spot for that. He's got 1 probe on his way down. So close to that. That's terrible. It's gross. So if you can see my vision. So I've got the main channels covered. Barracks up front. This base covered. Still can see on that side. So a little bit to the north is a little bit vacant, but I've got a pretty good vision of what's going on. Lots of Hellions got made, and now I'm going to start making more air units, double Liberators at a time. Killing off this base, I'm going to be expanding this way. Now a big chunk of Hellions moving out. Scan, once again, I can tell it's a Protoss player, the army's going to be in one spot, so I'm going to split up my Hellions, see if I can't get some good economy damage. Just keep this Protoss at home. He's maxed out. Look at the upgrades everywhere. More starports going down. Starports, warp gates, stargates, whatever you call them. So we'll run in with these Hellions. We're going to see what kind of damage we can get done. These ones are just going to wait in the wings. I know his army's on this side, so I'm going to wait for this army to pull it out of position and move in with the rest. Pretty good hits there. Up on this side, most of it was taken out. And I will not pay attention enough. He's been really good this game at pulling away his probes the last minute. "27 workers killed. Only killed about another 13 more for all those Hellions. Not really that great. So you can see my supply is quite low once again after losing all those. But these Liberators are kind of my last big bet here. He's just taking the map. But because he's focused so much on Colossus, he doesn't really have a lot of anti-air in here. 10 Stalkers right now is his army, and though, the upgrade's moving along, 2-2 on the way. Getting down my fusion core. Let's see how that comes into play here in the next little bit. Do have a second army finished, not building out of that right now. But during all that attack, did take myself a 4th base, tanked up, widow-mined up, Liberators in position. Now I just want to make sure I don't get blindsided while I transition. Lots of missile turrets going down. Observers, lots of cannons. He's seen my run-bys. He knows what to expect. High Templars coming out. I think that's a really smart move. Storm's already finished. Storm's just always good. Against mech, it's not as good as against bio. But you just never know. Storm can work out. More starports going down. I only have the 1. This will take me up to 4. Lots of Liberators. Only the one in position right now, just to make sure I don't get hit by any run-bys. Still don't have blue flame, a bit of a problem for me. I am getting my ship weapons upgrades going on. I was going to move out with this one Liberator, come up here and use it to harass this mineral line, but I think I end up having it part of a hotkey and it comes home again. So, army, pretty strong. Once again, the anti-air isn't amazing. Only 10 Stalkers and 2 Void Rays. Sentry and I guess a High Templar can do something. Not that great, so I'm kind of bouncing around with my Liberators. Tanks in good position to lay some fire down. It's 4 bases against 5. This one's really not mining yet, so I'm not pitiful right now. Battlecruiser started up, 3 Liberators at a time, and my upgrades going on. More Stargates going down. Knows that I've got Liberators out. Probably wants to get some of his own defenses in place. Pretty good wall going on. He could potentially bum rush this. Like, there's not much of an army here, but it could be very costly. And if he loses all of his Stalkers, the rest of this army is just defenseless. And even in the unliberated, unfreedom defending, unfreedom giving mode, Liberators will still shoot at the Colossus. Hellions sneaking out, maybe going for another run by. This base doing well. Need to take my gases, but at least it's up and moving. He's moving into carriers, which is cool, but the problem is that he's got really no air upgrades. Hellion is actually, this one Hellion's going to deny mining here for a while. Liberators actually pick off some of his observers. On my vision, you can actually see the observers there. So I will actually go and pick those off. Yeah, smoked. More battle cruisers on the way. +2 air weapons, +3 ship and vehicle armor. So my air units are going to be pretty beefcake. And these Colossus are really useless to him. I've just essentially transitioned out of my ground army. I still have some tanks in defense, which I was worried about because I'm maxed out, so I can't really I can't build any more battlecruisers. Kind of a problem for me. Did take my gases there. And I think my Protoss opponent's kind of got a similar problem. He's got a lot of stuff banked up, all these Stargates ready to make things, but he doesn't have any supply opening. He can't build anything yet. I actually move out some tanks into some just positions out here, see if I can get some damage done. Mostly because I want to take this base, but I also just have extra supply. So I'll lose those tanks, more battle cruisers being made. We'll lose this orbital, unfortunately. Meh, whatever. More command centers going down behind this. Pretty good air army. 4 battle cruisers, ton of Liberators, and 2-1 upgrades, soon to be 3-2. And he's just got the 1 cyber core making +1 right now, so his air upgrades are going to be quite a bit behind mine. Some Hellions running by over here. Nice. Up to 32 kills. And this is where I go for the attack. Liberators transform into Bring Freedom mode. We'll clean up all of the Stalkers. The problem is I didn't unsiege these. I guess siege, I don't know if that's correctly how I'd want to say that. Otherwise, I've probably been able to take this out easier. He's just going to kind of bum rush me. And he's actually going to lose some of these 2 missile turrets, weirdly enough. Can't believe the missile turrets cleaned up all the Colossus. Doesn't have charge. Loses all of his units. And he'll get 1 tech lab, as well as part of the exchange. Same time over here, liberate all these mineral lines. See what I did there? And he's only got the 1 carrier. 6 more in production right now. Awesome. The cool thing about the Liberators, once again, they have that really wide splash damage. So they can actually clean things up really fast. As long as you target the actual carrier themselves. Unliberate mode. Clean up those interceptors really, really quickly. So I will escape out of there. Don't want to just sit there and take like fight after fight. More Stargates going down starports. Float over another base. Scouting over here. And just pure air. Pure air. Upgrades on the way. Gotta move some workers soon. Super oversaturated right now. But 3, 2, plus 3 on the way. Giant upgrade lead. He hasn't been getting any more upgrades for his air army. Making more probes. I guess he's down in economy a fair bit right now. I haven't lost any workers this game, so that helps. Carrier fleet is moving on. Don't know if that is the best choice. Carriers are good, don't get me wrong. But we're going to see how they stack up here. I've got a bunch of SCVs that are underneath to try and repair things for the time being. Just wanted to see where this army was at. Back away my command center for the time being. We'll kill off that barracks. Whoop-de-doo. 4 more carriers on the way. Very interesting. Scanning around, looking to see where I can see the army. See, not much for a ground army that can shoot up 10 stalkers. Stalkers are pretty well upgraded, and maybe if you maxed out on stalkers, seem a little different. But you see, he spent all of his money. He has broke himself. This base is done. But now I've got pretty good fleet. 9 carriers, 10 liberators. This sounds so cool. On the way. This base is up and going. Move some tanks over. Lots of missile turrets going down. Some widow mines. Widow mines are amazing at cleaning up interceptors if you didn't know. Probably could have put a couple of these into Liberator mode. What's it called? Defender mode. I like Liberation mode a little bit more myself. But don't... What the hell is that? Rapid deployment. Why does it look purple? Is anybody seeing that in the top left? Anyways, look at how fast all these interceptors die off. Okay, I'm going to back it up for a second. I'm going to slow it down. I want to see how fast these interceptors die off in this video. Okay, there's 111 interceptors right now. $115, 59, 40, 27. Holy crap! Look at that! And that was only a handful of Liberators too. A bunch of them are in Liberator mode. That was like 8 Liberators cleaned up over 100 interceptors. That was ridiculous. And the carriers are all great. The couple in the red, but shoot. Doing fantastic here. Liberators once again just smoking this splash damage. Look at them all go down. Now I'm just going to target fire down each carrier. No interceptors left on barely any of these. And he is not happy about that. That was very interesting. And I hope you guys watched all the way to the end. If you listened to me, you did. To see just how effective Liberators were at dealing with tons of interceptors. Went from 114 down to 14 in a matter of seconds. Really cool. Fun game. Hope you guys like that. SeKo Starcraft. We'll talk with you later.